gosh, we don't shut up.
And Emily and I have we have these moments where
Staring.
we're
You just stare.
literally we've done it for 5 minutes. it's like, I think you would find it terrifying. We just literally each other, and time.
Promises you'll have.
And time stops.
Yeah.
But that's just how it's been for us from the beginning.
No, we're like, oh my god, there's
And they score again.
It's like, oh my god, I forgot to tell you something else.
I think that's cute. You guys are really cute.
I think it's more than cute.
They won the Stanley Cup.
The new report online suggests that WME was trying to get Blake to be a presenter at the Golden Globes but was declined, which was likely due to the bad press that she was getting while promoting It Ends With Us, which ultimately spearheaded the whole lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. And also noticeably absent was Wolverine himself, Hugh Jackman.
Hollywood is in shock after a controversial leaked video of Blake Lively surfaced online, sending ripples through the entertainment world. The footage appears to clash with the polished, graceful image the actress has maintained for years. Now, insiders are saying that what's seen in the video has raised serious concerns about accountability and authenticity, causing some major studios and collaborators to back away from Lively altogether.
Got to spend a minute on Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, okay? I know the ruthless fellas have been all up in this business. And, I mean, no, but seriously, have you followed it at all?
A little bit. I mean,
Okay.
it's all over the tabloids, so you got to see it a little bit. I don't know if you're an
All
expert,
over the
but-
tabloids.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so for those of you, just a quick two-liner for those of you not following it. They started this movie, It Ends With Us, about domestic violence. It was his movie that he bought the rights for from the woman who wrote the book, Colleen Hoover. Then he managed to convince Blake Lively to star in it with him, and all hell broke loose. She claims he harassed her, and then by the time they premiered the movie, they weren't even speaking to each other. She made him stay in the basement, and Ryan Reynolds turned on him too. And then she claimed that he unleashed a bad PR campaign against her, and he claims none of that is true. There was absolutely no harassment. Those are made up claims. She wrested his movie away from him and decided to try to hurt him with petty, made up, out of context complaint.
We've done it for 5 minutes. it's like, I think you would find it.
Does this not look like two people who caught feelings for each other? Does it not? Told you. The evidence never lies, okay? Read it all, I'm telling you.
Blake Lively, known for her elegance and carefully managed public image, now finds herself at the center of a storm. Reporters are urging people not to rush to judgment, while others are calling for immediate action. This growing controversy has become a major test for Hollywood, sparking a deeper conversation about the pressures of fame, the power of social media, and what it really means to hold public figures accountable.
She and her husband are bullies, and now it's resulted in vicious cross litigations against both of them. The New York Times is being sued for defamation by Baldoni through his lawyer, Brian Friedman, who's also my attorney, who's been on the show. And it's as vicious as it can get in Hollywood. My own position is she's absolutely ruined her brand. She has started a fight she cannot win. She does appear like an Amber Heard to me. I have yet to see one of her complaints borne out. In fact, all of the ones I've seen have been undermined by his hardcore proof in text messaging and so on that puts a totally different light on her horrific allegations. Then you see what she actually said and wrote. It's very different. She called herself Khaleesi and said Ryan Reynolds and we believe Taylor Swift were her dragons. And she's got the best dragons because they'll fight on behalf of her friends. Now she and Taylor are reportedly on the outs because Taylor Swift is like, bitch, I'm nobody's dragon. That's unconfirmed, but it's out there. And today we see some evidence now that Blake Lively may have a history of not being upfront when she gets cast in a movie of her secret desires to actually play a much bigger role than that of lead actress.
It all began when an anonymous source leaked a video that quickly became the talk of the industry. What's in the footage? According to observers, it shows moments that don't align with the image Lively has built over her career. Executives in private meetings said they were shocked by the content, with rumors spreading that some of what was seen was considered unacceptable by high-level insiders. The response? Fast, calculated, and coordinated.
Point did it become clear to you that Blake Lively was the aggressor in this now epic showdown? Was it right after was it when Baldoni dropped the countersuit? Was it when Brian Friedman put up the website with the 170 pages and all the text, or was it right away? when the Times wrote,
right away, I've always had an intuition about her, and I've always had an intuition about Taylor Swift and like the branding of the nice girl stuff. I knew how she grew up. I knew that she kind of was one of these people. What tends to be the case is that when you grow up with everything, you create things out of nothing because you're looking for struggle in your life and you're used to getting whatever it is that you want. So I just kind of had her down to a prototype and said, I'm going to pump the brakes and see what happens. And then when Brian Friedman came back with the facts, they were just undeniable, and it contextualized everything. And it really was quite horrific because you just go, what kind of a monster even goes through with this CRD filing and doesn't include the proper context of these things?
Experts have now broken the footage down frame by frame, but the full context still isn't clear. Even so, many argue the damage is done. Critics say this could be one of those career-defining moments, warning that the video might set a dangerous precedent in a time when digital content can instantly reshape reputations. Some even speculate that the leak wasn't just personal. It may have been part of a larger effort to challenge the power dynamics of celebrity culture.
The 2022 Forbes Power Women's Summit.
I would show up on a set. I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull.
In the days that followed, several top studios reportedly cut ties with Lively, hoping to protect their brands from the fallout. One prominent producer spoke off the record, saying the decision wasn't just about the video, it was about a pattern of concerns that had been building over time. Many see this as part of a bigger trend in Hollywood, where keeping a spotless image can matter just as much as talent.
We need to talk about this whole Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni stuff, because I have a lot to say.
We talked about it like
we talked about it a little bit before,
but there's more.
But there's a lot that's come out because now there's this like anti-Blake campaign that's going on.
Really?
And I'm low-key living for it.
I'm starting to think about just like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, like everybody's like, love them, they're so attractive, love their goofy relationship, but like now I'm starting to think like the way they treat each other online in front of everybody, I'm like, what is it like behind closed doors? I bet you're both awful people. Like I bet you're both just like really terrible. Because the interview that she did, I don't know what, maybe it was an Australian reporter, or she did that interview with a reporter.
Oh yeah.
And the reporter had known she was pregnant. And
Yeah.
said, oh, I love your bump. And then she was, love your bump. And I was like, okay, well, that was crazy.
That's a wild remark to also hit back with.
Yeah.
I know. And the reporter's like, I wanted to cry in that interview. I was like, I would have wanted to cry too. Imagine Blake Lively pokes at your pop belly.
Meanwhile, Blake's public relations team has asked for patience and perspective. In official statements, they've urged the media and public not to jump to conclusions and claim the video is being misrepresented. But even as her team works to control the narrative, the debate around cancel culture is intensifying. Some say this is a much-needed reckoning. Others argue it's an overreaction driven by viral headlines and online outrage.
I know this gets overused now, but she did FAFO. Like, she thought she could blame all of her negative press on him. He's a weakling. She's Blake Lively with Ryan Reynolds, her dragon. And she decided, I can't take 1 month worth of negative press, which she got, generated, she says, by him. He says, by you and your badness. And she's so thin-skinned, like, look what happens to you. Look what happened to poor J. Cal even on this show. People get picked on when they're in the public eye, right? Like, just Google Megyn Kelly, you'll see terrible articles about me. It's part of being in the public eye. She's just used to being Hollywood's golden girl, and she had such thin skin that after having a couple negative things happen to her for a month, she had to blame him. She decided to blame him, and boy, did she open up a hornet's nest and learn, be careful what you wish for, because now you've got the fight you asked for, and you're not winning it.
Former allies of Lively are now caught in a tough spot. Some have spoken out, acknowledging how much she contributed to their projects, but also admitting they've had to distance themselves. The ripple effect is clear. This controversy isn't just about one person. It's reopening the larger conversation about how we judge public figures in today's digital world.
We are seeing the downfall of Blake Lively before our very eyes.
This week, Blake Lively and her companies are under a lot of controversy because she decided to exploit domestic violence victims to promote her brands. And now the whole internet is doing a lot of deep dives to expose her past. And I want to talk about it today because I'm not sure why we're shocked that the woman who had a plantation wedding has had repeated rumored drama on all the sets she works on, gave Harvey Weinstein a pretty glowing review during his downfall, and much more we'll cover is surprisingly not that great of a person. Like, come on, Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds have always given like high school quarterback and head cheerleader who peaked in high school that were always like passive aggressively mean to you, but like had this nice branding person, like, oh, she's so nice, but she's not. Like, she'll just turn a corner and be so rude behind closed doors. And just like those two kids from your high school that eventually got married, never moved out, and never had to develop as people, they are so out of touch and they just don't care.
Industry experts say this situation could reshape how Hollywood handles future scandals, especially when they involve leaked or unofficial material. Behind closed doors, executives are trying to figure out how to balance fairness, privacy, and the need to protect their investments. For many, this case is a test. Can the industry create ethical guidelines that protect both the public and the people in the spotlight?
I have a theory that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are a very suspicious couple. I get weird vibes from them. I have for a very long time. Why does Ryan Reynolds need to be the CEO of like a jillion companies? First of all, he's a perfectly successful actor. There are celebrities who you don't have any opinions on, and that's because they're not doing PR. And when there's celebrities who are doing PR for themselves and you are being trained to have a certain opinion about them, that's when I get suspicious. And may I remind you that they met on the set of Green Lantern, and they were both in relationships when they met. And you hate to see that. You really hate to see that.
And then mysteriously, a year later, they weren't.
Fans are divided. Some stand by Lively, saying one video shouldn't define her, and that growth and redemption should be part of the conversation. Others say with great fame comes great responsibility, and that when you're a public figure with millions of followers, even small missteps matter. Online, the debate is loud, emotional, and far from over.
I have absolutely no feelings about this guy, Justin Baldoni. In fact, to be perfectly honest, I reviewed some of his social media, and he seems kind of ridiculous with his toxic masculinity, lamentations, and so on. But that's fine, that's me. So I'm not on his side. But my point is simply, I just don't see it. In their incendiary complaint, where they're trying to do their best to bash him and the PR team, I don't see that the second loop closed of, and then here's where they did it. It's just all supposition. They don't have these great texts saying, look what I got placed in the New York Post.
This scandal has already led to calls for change. Advocacy groups are now pushing for clearer rules on how leaked content is handled and what rights public figures have when their private moments are exposed without consent. Legal experts are weighing in, saying this could be the spark that leads to stronger protections and new media standards.
Lively is getting more and more criticism from the public, and now they're bringing up the past, including the time she was trashed by the royal family. In 2021, Blake Lively's husband Ryan Reynolds, without telling her, purchased a football team in the United Kingdom with Rob McElhenney for $3 million. And because the football team is based in Wrexham, has gotten a lot of love from the royal family, where King Charles has attended the game several times, and Ryan Reynolds has formed a friendship with him. In the meantime, Blake Lively's focused more and more on business, with one big example being Betty Booze, which is a line of non-alcoholic sparkling drinks she launched because, like myself, she's never actually drank alcohol. Around the time of the Betty Booze launch, Kate Middleton wasn't really seen at any public events, and also released this very strange photo of her with her kids. And that's because the photo wasn't really Kate Middleton with her kids and was a complete Photoshop job where many people thought Kate Middleton might have passed away, and there were a lot of conspiracies around it. Because that, Blake Lively posted this on Instagram, which was a clearly photoshopped image of her marketing Betty Booze to try and promote the brand and also make fun of Kate Middleton. Then Kate Middleton looked very stupid very quickly because it was revealed she was being treated for cancer. Blake Lively did apologize, but the royals seem upset, which is why they haven't attended any games for Ryan Reynolds' team since.
The fallout from the video goes beyond canceled deals or broken contracts. It's forcing the industry to take a hard look at how quickly public opinion can turn. In the past, personal scandals might have been hidden or quietly forgiven. But today, in the age of instant sharing and viral moments, a single mistake can cost someone their entire career.
Baldoni has come with receipts. Lively is finished. He has said that the New York Times basically cherry-picked and altered communications and didn't give any context to anyone, which is true. He has text messages of Blake asking him to come to her trailer while she was breastfeeding so that they could discuss the next scene. He also has correspondence of Blake asking for the costumes to be sexier in the film, which really doesn't corroborate any of these claims she's been making about the fact that he was sexually exploitative. His lawyers have said, while their side embraces partial truths, we embrace the full truth and we have all of the communications to back it. The public will decide for themselves as they did when this first begun. This is the same journalist that took down Harvey Weinstein that released Blake's article, so Baldoni wouldn't be trying to take them down if he did not have the receipts. This is Mean Girl Blake coming out. It didn't go her way, she tried to fight it, but Baldoni is showing that he's not gonna back down.
Some longtime Hollywood veterans are calling for a more thoughtful response. They say every situation deserves a full, fair review, not just snap decisions based on public outrage. These behind-the-scenes discussions could reshape how future crises are handled. Can Blake Lively make a comeback? Some believe she can, if she faces the controversy head-on. Others think the damage may already be done. One thing is certain, fame today comes with almost zero room for error. For Lively, this could be the moment that defines not just her next chapter, but the larger conversation around celebrity, accountability, and what the public expects from its icons in the digital age.
Now, sources close to Blake and Ryan claim that they didn't attend in any relation to any of the legal drama, but this was a decision that they made a while back. But if anybody knows anything about lawsuits, they're not filed in 24 hours. It does take some time to actually put everything together and file the lawsuit. Or, as in her case, the legal complaint that she originally filed in California before the lawsuit. But could it be possible that they just decided to boycott the Golden Globes because of the rejection to have Blake be a presenter? Or is it possible that the lawsuit was spearheaded by Blake suddenly being rejected by Hollywood after all her bad press? Because even right now, she has no other film projects in the works, with exception for A Simple Favor 2 starring Anna Kendrick, but that sequel has just been announced, or has just been confirmed as a straight-to-streaming on Amazon Prime. That's not even going to be in theaters.
As this story continues to unfold, every detail of the leaked video is being dissected and debated. Its timing, the reaction, and the headlines that followed have created one of the most complicated Hollywood scandals in recent memory. With each new update, the story gets deeper, and everyone from lawyers to fans is watching closely to see how it ends.